I'm looking into the past, Sarah, for a hint about this. Actually, starting in about March, I started to look at the year 2014 as a potential model for what might happen this year, not because every 4 years the years repeat, but there were some similarities, first of all, coming into the year. 2013 and 2017 were very low volatility, melt-up years in the market, very high returns, very low volatility. So let's look at 2014 first to give a hint of how we've already been similar to this year as well. So big pullback in February to start. Not as big as the one we had this time. It didn't have as good a January. But after that, after some choppiness in the spring, you did finally recover to a high right here in the third week of September. And at that point, the S&P 500 was up about 9% year to date. A very quick dump into mid-October, something like what we've just seen right now. By the way, one of the proximate causes that was blamed for that drop was the Ebola scare. Also, we had the end of the QE program, so it was a Fed tightening, Ebola scare, and also a bit of a slowdown situation. Right around October 15th, we shot higher, a little bit of choppiness in December. In the end, the year finished with about 11 or 12% gain. So that's why, starting around here, it seemed like there were some similarities. Let's look at 2018 year to date. Obviously, the year is not finished right now, but you'll see a few similarities, a little more dramatic movement. But here you have obviously that big drop into February, similar kind of grind higher into this September high, third week of September, up about 9% year to date. So all of it roughly fit if you look at basically the cadence of things. And naturally, we've just had this big drop right here for about 7% or 7 or 8% from an all-time high. So if we were to follow that path, everyone would say, what were we so worried about with Ebola? Or today would be higher treasury yields, Fed tightening, slowdown next year, and you'd recover. So this is the hopeful signal. I had it in a CNBC.com column this week as well. I don't think you can necessarily pencil in a huge straight line rebound from here. Stocks were cheaper back then. Yields were lower. We were earlier in the cycle, all of those things.
And I guess, Mike, the other thing, if it was similar, was that we've got 3 more years of gains to come afterwards, if that was the comparison.
Well, here's the thing. Yes, that's true. But at the end of 2014, you got just about 2050 or almost 2100 on the S&P. That's about all the upside you got before August of that year, when you actually had steep declines from the Chinese devaluation and the oil crash and all the rest of it. So the end of 2014 was about as good as you got in terms of upside until early 2016 when we resumed the uptrend. So it's not as if it was up and away from there, but you did book some gains before the tough stuff happened.
Okay, that was a good comparison. 2014 and 18, Sarah, as you know, also World Cup years.
And midterm election years.
And midterm election years. So there's actually outstanding comparisons on all sorts of levels.